How are we all doing, everyone? Hope you're keeping well out there today. Well, lots to talk about today, and not a lot to talk about at the same time, as is often the case. We'll give it a few minutes. We'll let a few people get into the chat tonight. We're drinking cans of Tennent's Lager. We're sponsored by Tennent's. And life is good. Well, what, Mr. Mooney? How are we? We are super. How are you? Well, let's give it a minute or two for the yell numbers to come up, and then we'll start talking as we do. Now, Dandy Rayborn is here. Hello, Ray. I was wondering what was digging into me, you see. Man. There's two things in my arse pocket. One is an 82 microfarad 420 volt cap, which I pulled out where power supply was thrown in the bin. And the other is a 440 milliamp fuse. I won't tell you more about that. Kev B is in. Good man, Kev. We're going to discuss you, Kevin, actually. Random value on that cap there. It's obviously the lowest value they can get away with. It's out with laptop power supply. So obviously they've worked it down. 420 volts, 82 microfarad. You think it'd be 100 or 450, wouldn't you? Well, it's obviously, a couple of cents cheaper to do it that way. Mr. Dranfield is in the chat. Always good to see you, Mr. Dranfield. I keep calling you Mr. Dranfield. You don't like that, but you see, I have this thing in my head where I call tradesman Mr. It was something that was bet into me when I was an apprentice. Michael. 440 milliamp fluke fuse. See, Kevin B knows the crack. Actually, I wasn't the one that blew it. When I bought my Fluke 28 Mark II, I got it at a very reasonable price. What I thought, it wasn't a giveaway price, but for one of these, it was very cheap. But I was doing a little bit of work on the bench last week when I was making my ESR meter, and I wanted to measure the current, and I got no joy. And then after a few 10 minutes messing around, the penny dropped, and I checked the fuse. The last man that had it blew the fuse, because I did it myself years ago with my 83 Mark III, and it's something I'm not going to repeat because they're a little bit pricey. But we'll get one. We might be able to get one at work. We'll see. They're not that bad. Anyway. Now, today is a somber day for me because it was this day last year that my good friend and mentor, John Twomley, passed away. So, just been thinking about that today. And of course, I must say, in the last year, without John on the end of the phone and all the adventures we would have went on, as we always did, anywhere that I went in the van collecting stuff or whatever, John would usually accompany me. So, there isn't a day goes by we don't think of him in one way or another. But, so that's that. John's gone. So, raise it. Cheers to John Twomley. It's amazing how time goes by so quickly. Unbelievable. It's like it was only last week, and a year has passed. Moving on, who else have we got here in the chat? We have Janet Winslow. Fluke fuses are madly expensive. I've frigged a holder for a 20. Ooh. I don't think Kev B would approve of that. We're going to discuss Kev B in a while too. Nothing bad, Kev. I'm sure you know. We've 16 watching with 8 thumbs up. So what I would ask you to do is, if you can, is to give me a thumbs up. I'm even going to give myself a thumbs up. Now I usually play it here on my phone as well, so I can monitor it off, and not my own. I have my own channel playing here, so I can see everything. But I usually play it on another channel as well. It's not playing for some reason. That's a reload. It even makes me watch ads. There we go. Skip ads. Turn the volume down. So I know it's getting out alright if I can see it on this one. Makes sense to me anyway. Kev B has no comment on that, but your cat and safety ratings are out the window, that's right. Andy's in the chat. Good evening, Andy. George Donaldson is in the chat. Good evening, George. I hope you're keeping well. Thank you, Noel, for that. And a very happy birthday to Noel. Everyone in the chat, do wish Noel a happy birthday. He's 66 today. So he's officially an old fella now. You're officially an old boy today, Noel. A very happy birthday to you. So, as Mr. Mooney says, the gang is all in. The gang is all here. The usual names are in the chat. John Rudd. Hello, John. So, let's get talking. The first thing I want to talk about is Kev B, because I got a lovely parcel in the post from Kev B during the week. And this is it. I gave him at the Goulburn. Kev kindly, graciously offered to put my little blue voltage reference that I made in the little box, based on an AD548 chip, voltage reference chip, on his very snazzy calibration multimeter equipment. And so I did. I brought it to the Goulburn with me, and I presented Kev with it. I said, Kev, don't look inside too deeply now, because it was just thrown together in the box. And not only did he do that for me, he rebuilt it into a beautifully done. Now, I opened it up today, and I actually changed the batteries in it, Kevin, because when I turned it on, it wasn't working. Now, I don't know why. I thought the batteries might have gone flat. So I changed the batteries in it anyway, so new batteries in it. You want to see the way he made up the little looms and all on this. It's absolutely beautiful. So thank you very much, Kev. And here it is. I'll give you a good look at this. Now, I might make a little video on this anyway, but I want to show the regulars here on the live stream what a lovely job Kev did. Now, I don't know, will this bloody camera allow me to show it? Maybe not, but I mean, you get the idea. Look at that. And of course, he's got the results printed here, so we know what we're dealing with. Look at this. Really nicely done. So I'm very grateful to you for that, Kev. Yeah, that's 10 out of 10. So if Kevin wants to put in the chat a link to his business or anything, if that's something he's interested in, please feel free to do that, Kev. But 10 out of 10, pal. That is class. So, of course, the first thing I did when I got it going, put the Fluke 28 onto it. She's bang on. And the 83 Mark III is bang on. So, as you know, they would be, Kev. So, I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. That's class. Very, 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 very happy with this. That is a lovely piece of equipment. And so tidily put together. I was very embarrassed giving you that blue piece of shit. Oh, so that's Kev. No bother, John. We'll catch you later. Now, I think I'm going to put on the heat for a minute, but the heat's gone up. It was 28 cent last month. It's 40 cent a unit now. So I used to leave the dehumidifier on out here all the time, and then I sat down with the back of a cigarette packet and I worked it out. So the dehumidifier uses 250 watts or thereabouts, and I worked that out at €16.80 a week. So the first thing I did was I came out here and I plugged it out. To be fair, it doesn't need to be on all the time anyway. I think an hour a day is more than enough. We have 22 people watching with 16 thumbs up. Come on, lads. You know I'm never happy until I've more thumbs up than people viewing, because it makes no sense at all. And that's why it's so good. So we've got Roundy Mooney, we've got Rayborn, we've got Normal Dondy, we've got Alan Cowley. Hello, Alan. Janet Winslow, Kevy B, Michael Tranfield, Rayborn. Who else have we got? We've got Andy of Vintage Electronics Repair. We've got George Donaldson. John Rudd, who had to run away, so he's not here now, I don't think. Got Certif Cal. Yeah, absolutely, Michael. Kev B, crap, I'll have to look at power use on my dehumidifier. Runs 24/7 in the basement. Yeah. Well, there was a time when you thought, 250 watts, sure, that's feck all. Of course, you didn't care when a kilowatt hour was, threepence a gallon or what have you. We were letting the electricity run down the drain, sure. It was great. And that has changed. And Jerry BVR is also in the chat. Yes, we've got a good few people watching. So, this week, I made a purchase in Lidl. Or for some of you, Lidl. What did I buy in Lidl? Any guesses? Any guesses for what I bought in Lidl this week? There's one. Oh, yes. Not that much in there these days because it's all the Christmas stuff. Sam Siddles. What the fuck? Michael Tranfield. Oh, that must be for the televisions. Oh, no. There was no need to do that. Though with a tenner to set off the Pilex rental, that's probably not bad going. Oh, thanks very much, Michael. He said he'd send me some more next week. Jeez. Thanks very much, Michael. Fair play to Michael. Rowney, you seen all them televisions? Oh, thank you very much, Michael. 10 out of 10 for that. Probably a trombone and flip-flops plus a tin of fake caviar. No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Not a trombone. Not flip-flops. I have a pair of flip-flops. What do you think it was? Go on. I thought Roundy Mooney would have a good stab at this. He usually does. Michael Tranfield just figured out how to send me money on the YouTube. Yeah, but to be fair, I had a discussion with Michael. I said I didn't want that for the old sets, but I really appreciate that. That goes a long way to keeping this show on the road, I can tell you. 10 out of 10. Crotchless jocks. Come on now, George. And here, you're another little man as well. You're a little man. You're a little man. But you're not a little man, you're a big man. You're a big little man. Till's most likely to see Kev has it. Right. I can't keep up this game of charades any longer. A 55-inch UHD. That sounds like one of them queer flat things. No. Come on, lads. I thought you would have guessed. Andrew Walsh is here. Hi, Ojnoj. Great to watch live. And also hello to Michael Dranfield. Always a pleasure to watch. He's hardly going to retire the Megatelli. Well, actually, the Megatelli is going to have to move on, I think, because there's going to be a few developments in the house. So I think the Megatelli's days are numbered. Anyway, what did I buy in Lidl? Come on. Well, you know what it is now. It's a drill. It's a drill. And I thought it was a very snazzy little drill. 50 of my finest Euro heads got me this. Right. Now I needed to go and buy this like I needed a hole in the head. However, I do kind of need a snazzy little drill, and this is it. And the good thing about the little stuff, there's a German fella standing behind me with a gun to my head, by the way. The good thing about the little stuff is that the little batteries, they do, you know, you can buy as many of these little batteries as you like. So when they come in, I'll buy a second one. Handy little drill. Small, slight, snazzy little drill. Looks grand. Got a new Milwaukee, so I passed them, but the Milwaukee stuff is in a different league. I'm very tempted to get the little Milwaukee half-inch stubby going. That's what I'm tempted to get. But that'll be off topic for this channel. So it comes in a nice little pouch instead of one of them. I don't like them. The plastic cases they come in, they're a bit of an arse. They take up so much space. So nice little pouch. It came with a set of bits. Probably not the best, but alright. And a set of wood drill bits. Nicely tucked in. So I'll probably put my own set of bits in there. And it'll be a handy little door. So that was 50 quid. Can't fall out. So where does that leave us? It leaves me catching up with the chat now because I've been talking nonsense. Try and keep up with you all, lads. I think the Megatelli might take a trip to Cork on the train. Looks grand. I got a new Milwaukee. Oh yeah, sorry, I read that. Right, got that far. Revolut is another option, of course. Google take a percentage of super chats, unfortunately. Yeah, Google are going to have probably about £12 of that £50 into their pocket, which is a bit strong. Moundy, you could live inside the Megatelli. Michael White is late. Not to worry, Michael. Welcome aboard. Anytime Jerry says anything from Lidl is good, he jigs it and blows it up the next day. I must say, some of their stuff is very good. Some of their stuff is not so good. I think, now, the drill, I must say, I'm very impressed with the quality of that. I think that's well worth 50 quid, to be honest. Some of their stuff, though, isn't quite the same quality that they had a couple of years ago. There's obviously a bit of cost cutting going on there in the background too. Michael says, I'm not that technical. A bit of an oxymoron, surely. I should think so. When it comes to the internet stuff. Well, he did confess to me several times that he does not like interacting with screens and keyboards. And I must say that I would be in the same camp as him. I do not enjoy interacting with screens, computers, and the internet on a whole. On a whole, yes, that's the one. However, such is the necessity of modern life. We have no choice. Why doesn't Lidl have 3 years warranty? Doesn't Lidl have 3 years warranty on some stuff? It does. It doesn't on other stuff. I didn't even look at that drill to see if it had a warranty or not. I must have a look. I never bother. For the amount of use I'm going to give it, it'll probably be safe enough anyway. That's a noisy hairdryer. Bye headphone users. Oh, I blew the head off a few people, I think. But Michael's school report was full of days because he's only interested in electronics. My only interest was looking out the window. I'm sure the headphone users will get over it and forgive me eventually. Yes, we could move the whole family inside the mega telly and life would be good. I must say, I find Revolut very good too. I use Revolut on a daily basis. It's handy actually, yeah. Very handy. Have the little card and all. The bank don't know what I'm doing. The warranty with little or Aldi stuff is only for 3 months. After that, it's with the manufacturer and it's a nightmare. I had a compressor that died after 4 months. It took some amount of bitching to get that sorted. Yeah, that's not great, George. I have the same little drill, angle grinder and hedge core all use the same battery, which is very handy. Yeah, their batteries are all standardised now, which is good. That should have been brought in a long time ago. This crack of having batteries for this and batteries for that should be all the same. And I think all the manufacturers should be made of the, because all the drills, all the 18 volt drills or whatever, they all have 5 18650s in them. There's no difference. So there should be all the bloody same. Andrew Walsh did City and Guilds radio and TV and digital electronics and all the rest of it. Here when Bowdoin College was here. Passed with all distinctions. Kept winning Maplin's vouchers. Your Maplin's vouchers wouldn't go far now. Different world, wasn't it? An awful lot has changed since them days. But the Aldi equivalent is just different enough not to fit in. That's right. Same bloody insides. You know, in the interest of we and the environment, and surely they shouldn't be allowed to do that. You know. Can't be worked on Maplin. Interesting. Because Maplin long gone now, and they ain't coming back. I know. Yeah, at the same time, back then you could make money. Times have changed. Times have certainly changed, and you know there's There's an ad campaign being run here by the government at the minute about, it's called The Circle or something. To be honest with you, I haven't really listened to it. Maybe someone, Roundy Mooney or someone. No, that'd be me. But basically, the idea is if your washing machine breaks, don't throw it out. Get it repaired. If your television breaks, don't throw it out. Get it repaired. If you have a hole in your shoe, but what they fail to recognise is that they killed all us. We're all dead. Alright? There's no one left to repair the television or the microwave or whatever the fuck it is. We're all dead. They killed all us years ago. They thought they'd never get rid of us. They thought they wouldn't get rid of us fast enough. And now they're turning around going, oh no. Ready is gone, lads. We want to get stuff fixed. There's a couple of problems I foresee with that. Now, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole here a bit, as I have done in the past. You can't get service information, you can't open stuff up, and you can't get the spare parts. And Joe Public isn't going to want to pay to have a thing that can be repaired. If he can get a microwave for £100 that he throws in the bin after 4 years, or he can get one that he has to get fixed after 6 years that costs £500 because it costs so much, because they have to get a draftsman to draw up all the drawings and make them available. They have to have a store to keep all the spare parts after the production run is finished. People aren't willing to pay for that. And then, as Jerry says, labour is too dear. Because just take, for example, that this shed here wasn't a hobby. Let's say this was a working workshop where I was taking in television sets, electric irons, microwaves, all that kind of stuff, right? The electricity to keep the arse warm, rates, insurance. If I'm going to do it properly, right? An accountant to look after me, right? Before I do it, I would have to be charging between to actually make a living. Not to break even as a hobby. Let's say, I need to put in my pocket, I need to clear out of this £900 a week, right? So to do that, I'm probably going to need to be turning £2.5 grand a week. I'm counting the fact that I own the place. I'm not renting a place, right? That means I need to be charging between 40 and 60 quid an hour for labour. People aren't going to pay that. And I don't disagree with them for not wanting to pay that. But it's just the harsh realities of where we are. Does anyone disagree with that? What happened to the right to repair thing from last year? I don't know. That all died of death. Is your man Louis Rossman, is he still on YouTube? I haven't seen him in ages. I haven't even looked him up in ages. But he used to pop up all the time. But the right to repair thing, I don't know. There you go. When Jenny was an apprentice, they fixed kettles and toasters. I remember in John's shop, we had kettle elements with the lids. We did all that. We used to with the old elements at the back with the red button. There was an overhaul kit you used to get to change the bimetallic strip and the contacts. We used to do that kind of stuff. I remember that. Now, of course, I was only a little fella, right? But I can remember, 94, 95, when I was about 8 or 9. I can remember John still doing the odd one. Not many, but that was still a thing in my little memory. And of course, the irons, as I've often said, how I started out in the first place with all this was putting the new leads on these things. Right? That was it. That was my first Saturday job ever. Putting new leads on Murphy Richards irons. And we used to get loads. There'd be about 10 of them sitting there some Saturdays. Waiting for me to... And I had a big roll of this cloth covered wire. And a box of new plugs. They always got a new plug as well for themselves. And that was it. That was Saturdays. Take the back off. One screw. And they're all screwed with little doofers. inside, and that was it. And then with a box of bulbs as well. So sometimes the little bulb on the side would be blowing, you bang a new bulb in. And that was it. And they were happy days. You know, imagine that happening now. Not a bloody hope. Not a hope. I've gone off on a bit of one there, but I don't think anyone that watches my channel would disagree with anything that I've said there. Andrew Walsh says they want us to buy new stuff, not to make it serviceable these days. I do a lot of backlight faults in these modern LED sets, but it is not enjoyable like it was back in the day. Glue everything stuck down. Yeah, I wouldn't take one on now, to be honest with you. And Michael was showing me the big huge table that he has in his workshop for taking on such jobs. Because one slip, crack, the screen's gone, which I'd be terrified of, you know. ESB used to have a service repair department into the late 80s. Soldering spouts and kettles, fixing toasters, etc. Wonderful. Wonderful. All ancient history, I'm sure. New element and a new washer kit. That's right, the little rubber or fibre. Some of them were fibre, I think. Some of them were rubber. Yeah. You can't find young people to do the manual work, to train as a TV engineer or repair Russell Hobbs kettles or Murphy. Can't find them, but with the way things are, if you could find them, they couldn't afford to do it. You know, as I said, I would need to be charging between 40 and 60 quid an hour to work in this shed, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, fixing stuff. And that's not feasible for people. So, you know, what's the young fella that's starting out? What's he going to work for? They're all over here at the minute. I don't know if it's the same in the UK, but there's more or less a crisis here at the minute with employment, because people simply can't afford to work for the money they're being paid anymore. So we've got bus drivers that are walking out of the game every day of the week. We've got mechanics that are walking out of the game. They're all going off to different fields of employment because they simply can't live on the money that they're making. To rent a house, you know, to renting a house here in Dublin at the minute will be more than a month's wages, you know, than an average month's wages. So it's not feasible. So taking that into account, you know, how much are you going to pay a young fella to change an element in a kettle? How much are people going to be willing to pay? People aren't. I think the problem is people aren't going to be willing to pay even half the price to have something repaired that they could buy it for new. As Noel says, there is no tech courses available anymore. Well, I think there is still a City and Guilds course we can do here in Ireland. I looked into it, but I found out that the what are they called now? They used to be called FOSS. Some other fancy name, Intrio or some bloody thing, which will be our version of, say, Job Centre Plus. They send, you know, sort of heroin addicts and stuff on this course. So I sort of and I was going to have to pay, you know, 1,300 quid for each of the two parts. City and Guilds, something or other. It was electronics and white goods repair and stuff. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pay that kind of money to be sitting in a classroom with a load of gobbers that are sent there for free who don't care, shouting and roaring. So that didn't happen. And they wouldn't let me just do the exams without doing the course, obviously. I'd probably pass the exams without doing the course. It's all about IT and programming now. Yep. You know, part of me part of me hopes that all this will blow up someday and we'll get it kicked back to the way it was. With screens above 55 inches, got to be very careful. Yeah, I'd say so. That would not appeal to me. Kids these days do not want to get their hands dirty. They're convinced IT is the way to go. Yeah, to be fair, probably. Yeah, you meet the odd one. But not as many as there would have been. When I did the entrance exam to serve me time as a mechanic, there was 7,000 applications that year. And at the time, you had to do a little exam thing and pay, shade in the box of shit. And last year, so 7,000, just around 7,000 that year, right? To get, I think there would have been probably about 60 places for apprentices nationwide. Last year, they got 27 applications. So that shows you a problem there. B4L Funny Times. Hello, B4L. Thank you very much. Hope you're keeping well there. Michael Waite says the problem is the cost of retail goods is too cheap. If the TV was 1,500 or the kettle was 100, the customers will be more inclined to repair. Maybe they would be. Twitter might be recruiting soon. You see, the problem is with Twitter and the likes of it now. Software gurus go in and they write all the algorithms, for the automatic moderation and all this kind of stuff. So, when all that software kicks in and does the jobs that the people were doing before, then what do these people do? There's nothing. The job has been replaced by the algorithm, and that's the problem. Colorist did City and Guilds telecoms for 2 years at night in Kevin Street Tech back in the 80s. Great course. So Colorist is an Irish fellow. I haven't seen you before in the chat. Welcome aboard. Maybe you have been. I am told I'm terrible with names, and that is no lie. Grid Runner Shack is here. Hello, Grid Runner Shack. Grid Runner Shack says, what goes around comes around. Prices will increase, and that will make repair feasible again. The level of consumerism we have now isn't sustainable. It never was. I agree with that. But now, of course, I have no formal qualification in electronics or repair. I always say I'm only a hobbyist, and I am. But I don't know. As I say, if I was to do it here on a self-employed basis, I would need between 40 and 60 quid into my hand every hour to keep the lights on the road and the lights on and the rates and insurance if I was going to do it properly. You know what killed it as well, of course? Coming back to that. Boys working in their kitchen table after work at night, taking in sets and stuff, and doing it for a score here into the hand, a score there. That's what killed all the shops that were on the streets years ago. Only the traditional trades that do not require a serious electronic content is wood turning and stone masonry. Yeah, that's right. When you repaired the 30 quid Russell Hobbs kettle, the average wages was 20 quid a week. Yeah, even the kettle was a big purchase back then. Wayne Sharp, Elon is giving Twitter a good shake-up, although I'm not a big fan of him. He's lied so much about many of his projects. He has. But what I would say is, I do agree with him people should be in work if they're working. I do agree with that. Don't agree with his tactics. Let's not get political. George Christophe's here. Hello, George. Hope you're keeping well too. George is sitting here quietly for once. I missed the City and Guilds 224 course that I did in the 80s. One of the last true courses for fixing stuff. Now I think that 224 course is still going, but it's watered down or whatever. I think that was the course that I was looking at, that they're sending all these loans on. Michael Tranfield was only on £15 a week. Too much cheap Chinese tat about. Yep. Jim Gordon's here from Scotland. Hello. What's the worst ever set you have worked on and why? I don't know, Jim, but let's ask. I'd have to think about that. Michael Tranfield, I'm sure, would love to give an answer to that. I'll tell you what. Those of you who know, do tell Jim Gordon what was the worst set you ever worked on. Underscore is in the chat. Good evening, Underscore. Underscore is probably up to his knees in snow. Read a few. Mark Trey. Oh no. Well, you have to watch out for them. You should know better to be buying off them second-hand rental fellas that go around in vans, -2. Whoa, Jesus. Oh, no, thanks. £10 on top of the dough money. Yeah, well, you were doing better. When I started my apprenticeship as a mechanic, I was on €160 a week. When the dole here at the time was €188 a week. I used to hang out with lads who never did a day's work in their life, who used to buy me drink in the Bowser. Turn the heat off for a minute. Calm down there, here. Chill out. £30 a week in 86. You were doing all right, Wayne. White Sapphire has never been on the dole. I've never been on the dole either, thankfully. But it was a sad state of affairs when the lads on the dole were making more money than me working. It's not ideal. I get the feeling that Colourist, Underscore, and Ray Bourne, well, I know Underscore and Ray know one another, but Colourist must also be part of this underworld citizens band communication carry on. And of course with George here as well, who's like sort of a ringleader, so we gotta watch out. White Sapphire is hanging up our spores in 13 months. Yes. All them mad ranters and ravers off the radio. 27.555 and all that. Michael Tranfield was into that jazz as well. Oh, would have been that FM muck. You lads wouldn't be into that. You boys would be all into that there, no single side band, hey. Old single side, the old upper single side band now. And you're running into the old box in the boot now, and you get an old kilowatt out the end of the spout. Be good to go. What's this George says? About half a gallon. He runs her about half a gallon. It's the only man he ever met that described input power to an aerial in gallons. Very interesting. Kev B, Worcester, Sharp Portable, that was basically 2 ICs, both expensive, and one kept dying. No idea how the model number, but the IC number is poured into me brain. IX1147C. I seem to remember there was a red Sharp portable set from around 1990 that lived for many years on the shelf in the back of John's shop, and eventually it went to a sad place. And I seem to remember asking him about it constantly, and it was sort of a sentimental thing because it had been a prize in the golf club to a late friend of his, and his wife had brought it in to get it repaired, and then she had passed away as well, so he couldn't bring himself around to dumping it. I remember asking him several times about what's the crack with that telly? Can we get it going? He said, "No, there's an IC in that, and it's leave it alone." Wayne Sharp enjoyed the ESR meter build I did. Thank you very much, Wayne. Of course, some of you would have seen that. A very simple circuit, and I got inspiration. Of course, I talked about this day last week. I got inspiration to do that on the UK Vintage Radio Forum. And I have it here. I've yet to use it in full anger, but I think the first job I'm going to give it is checking the capacitors in the other ESR meter, because I have a feeling they're a bit dodgy in that one. But yeah, still working anyway. The only thing it does do, if I check a very low value capacitor, say a 0.1 or something like that, it goes hard over. So I think it starts. I think the oscillator goes bananas in it if you check it very low. It's all right down to about 1 microfarad, but when you go lower than that, then it goes bananas. But then it's not for checking those, so that's not going to be a big issue either. It is a very simple circuit, to be fair. I think the EEV blog 5 transistor one would probably be a better machine, and we might look at that down the road. I'm sure some of you be aware of the EEV blog and the famous 5 transistor ESR meter. Let me catch up with the chat. Only right to roll, JJ, yeah. Oh. It's alright you running half a gallon. When you get up to the old oil drum levels now, we'll really need to be concerned, Sharp remarked ICs, most were only Hitachi chips with a sharp number. Ooh, that's concerning. A word to my sponsors. If you have just tuned in, please do hit the thumbs up button here at the top of the screen, or the bottom of the screen, or wherever it is on your screen. I do like to say, I have this weird thing where I like to say more thumbs up than people view. It's just, I'm a bit crooked like that. But as Roundy Mooney will say, I go on about this every week. He's probably sick of listening to me going on about it. Intrio, that's what Ray says, yeah. I do have to try and keep up with the chat. Let's see. We are in live chat mode, so we should be seeing all the messages. But as I have said before, some of the messages don't come through. Roundy Mooney has noticed that as well, him being a moderator and all that jazz. Pioneer did that as well with Toshiba chips, 5 times the price and more. That's a bit naughty. Now, Ray, you see, it's all fine and well unless if you're finding out that the chip is the same. When you find out, I think Michael Dranfield will definitely remember that the famous little Sony portable television from the 70s with the gate controlled switches, and then some clever chap in television came up with a little very simple modification with a little coil and a resistor that you could use a BU208 instead. Now the GCS was like a tenner or something like that. Well, the BU208 was like £1.50 or something. Figures are all wrong, but I think the ratio was right. KV1810, and Sony lost their shit when he's seen it in television magazine. They'd lost their mind, obviously, for good reason. Because these bloody things used to go short at the drop of a hat. Not right, Michael? Everything else is rebadged. I don't know how true that is. They used to make hearing aids in the 1970s and 80s. Right, I have to go away, but I will return shortly. Do keep watching. Keep yourselves entertained there. And when you hear the cowbells, you know I'm on my return. Thanks, lads. Think we're in for a good live stream tonight. I can feel it. Andy Walsh was never a lover of the STKICs. Always preferred discrete transistors. They always seem to fail. Yep. We need to get an Ojnoj test card. We do. But, we're looking into that. We have an IT expert on the way up here in a few weeks. It would be good if I had the old thing and just push the button, We'll return shortly. Instead of Carol Hurst's head in the thing, it could be my head in the middle of the test card. Go on, good luck. Head kids. Ha ha! Cowbells, of course, means my imminent return. And everyone has to shut up saying bad things about me behind me back. Now, I'm after kicking me something with me toe. I didn't even realise I'd done it. That's sore. I'll have to have more drink. I knocked up a test card F with Ojnoj. I think you sent that to me actually a long time ago. Me with emails wouldn't be great. Lots of rebadging being going on for ages. Once you look into who owns things, yeah, I suppose Bush and Murphy and all that kind of stuff. Thorne and Ferguson and Baird. It's nothing new. Man needs to bring out a bit of merchandise. But for Christmas, 100% bit of crack. I don't know who here would buy an Ojnoj cup or novelty hat. Just under 20 quid a week in 1973, and that was working nights. Sharp, I agree. Rebadging. Panasonic even do it. Toshiba, Hitachi, JVC, all Vestal chassis. Ugh. We gotta see that. Did a few varieties. I think you did. I think you did send them to me. Probably there somewhere. I don't forget about these things. They come in one ear and out the other. Let me see. I've always had a Sony Trinitron sets. I liked them. I thought that they had the sharpest pictures. I still have a Sony TV. It's a Born LCD flat screen with a DVD drive. Snazzy. Reverend Blue Jeans. Oh yeah. If you want to send it to me and I'll repost it. Check your email out. Jennifer Moynihan. Can you answer a question about the legend of 405 line test card on RTE? As I'm a historian, let me read this. Get over a bit closer. I'm a historian, and that the 405 camera broke down. They pointed a 625 camera. Someone cop on as a fly pop up in front of it. RTA actually had, and I've spoken to a few people who worked in RTA at the time, right? And I found out some interesting stuff about this. They had a box made up, okay, with I can't remember the technical details, the names of the stuff or whatever. But basically, they had a box made up with a monitor on one end. The box was lined with black felt material, and at the other end was a camera. And that's exactly what they used, an optical line standard converter instead of a digital one. Now, I believe that they had digital ones as well, but they used an optical one in Donnybrook. And the interesting thing that I had not heard before, but I heard off a gentleman who worked in technical development in RTA in the 60s, is that the CRT in the monitor was actually a green phosphor CRT. And they said that it gave a wider range of contrast on the camera than a normal white phosphor. So that is true, but it wasn't done as a dodge. That was their actual proper setup. And of course, the sync on the camera was linked to the monitor and all, so you didn't get banned or not. Does anyone remember the Telpro color hybrid set? I don't. Trying to keep up with these comments here. There's so many of them steaming in. Jerry says, take down that email, he'd be swamped with spam. I think Rowney uses it just as a burner email. I'm sure. You can get Teespring to do them for you. People buy direct from them. Hat with John Joe on it and whatnot. Colours, official Ojnoj white coat. You couldn't afford it. Yeah, no, I can see the ad now. Do you want an official Ojnoj white coat? Yes. We don't disclose the price because if you ask how much it is, you simply can't afford it. Wonderful. Luke Davis writes, his flight's confirmed. I fly to Ireland on the 1st of December. Good for you, Luke. I hope you enjoy your trip over here. Everything is rebadged these days. I know someone who works at the local cheese factory. He brings me cheese marked Marks and Spencer's, Tesco, and it all comes out of the same factory. Yeah, I'd never get snobby about any of that kind of stuff now, to be quite honest with you, Michael. Like my mate of mine says, you know, wouldn't buy that now of Aldi with 10 beans or anything. You know, only buy bachelors. I find that the Aldi beans, or the little beans, or the Aldi beans, I should say, are quite nice. But I reckon they all, I mean, a bean is a bean, like, you know. Wayne Sharp says, had a Murphy stereo back in 84. Had the glass door on the lid with the VU meters. Oh, lovely. Jerry's on his way out the gate. Yeah, not the only one. Underscore's going to bang up those test cards. We've got 40 people watching, by the way, which 39 people watching now. I think we got up to 41 there, which I think could be a record for concurrent viewers on YouTube. If you have those join the chat, please do hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that. Listening to you reading these comments, John Joe, is like listening to Mailbag with Arthur Murphy. Is local ice cream factory make it for all the major supermarkets? Yeah, I'd imagine. Luke Davis has had enough of Vestal and he's going to use a real Panasonic TV. Good man. Alham XHD, a D808 portable digital radio FM I bought for my son. Is it any good? I mean, it was a bit overpriced, but that's what he wanted, the fecker. It's an excellent little radio. I have one. Don't ask me where it is. It's gone. But if you want to look at more in-depth videos about it, please do check out Trev's channel, which is now called Vintage and Amateur Radio. Okay, he's renamed his YouTube channel, Vintage and Amateur Radio. Let me see if I can get that up. I'm using my mouse on the laptop. That's not very good. We have got 40 people watching, which is great going. Let me get Trevor's YouTube channel up here. But Trevor, has an excellent YouTube channel, I think. Now, copy link. Back to my thing. Oh, why is everything so painful these days? Like, I just want to. That's Trev's channel, and Trev does loads of videos on his D808. Excellent little radio. Excellent. Well worth the money. They've gone up a little bit in price. They used to be around 55 quid, 60. Now they're up. I see some of them on AliExpress now up at 100 quid. So, things have gotten more expensive. Let me see where we're at. Michael White says, give it a thumbs up. Go on, give it a thumbs up. Well, there's 39 people watching now with 40 thumbs up, so we've broken the thing. Be for that funny times to see the test card. Wonderful stuff. Good man, Roundy. Roundy's in for a promotion soon enough. He's going to be made chief spanner man. So he's looking forward to that. Luke Davis says he rescued a Toshiba Walkie KT-AS10 cassette recorder from being chucked out. Looks very beaten up, but the FM module works at least. Good man. The Chipmunk is in the chat. Hello, Chipmunk. We hope you're keeping well. Oh, the old plasma sets were lovely. Ian Drury and the Blockheads. Yeah. All those links from Colombia. I'll have to have a look at a few of these. I don't know. Although I trust Rowney has pre-moderated them, of course. Not that I don't trust you, underscore. Oh, that's about the old world thing. Yeah. I actually know the man who has the first electronic one. And he's got it going too. It's called a cow. I can't remember what cow stands for. Computerized something world. Old Dell PCs. Luke Davis writes from XP are stupid money now. What? Dell PCs from the XP era are worth money. There you go. You learn something new every day. George Thompson, I did hear someone mention Hi-Fi VU meters. They need to visit my shed. Oh, yeah. Mr. Hi-Fi. Well, if they're willing to pay that kind of money, the best of luck to them. Am I getting beautiful assistant as well? Well, Roundy, I'm afraid Mrs. Ojnoj pipped you to the toast on that one. This year. Never know. Next year might be a better year for you. If you've got a Dimension 2400 going around, can I have it? Sounds interesting there. Chipmunk keeps missing the streams. Did you ever have a CB as a way team, like a Rotel Midland Amstrad or a big Magnum? I never was into CB. was never into CB as a young fella. Although I do have a couple of CBs kicking around now. What have I got? I'll tell you what I've got. I've got a Lafayette Telsat 1240. And then I've got a President something or other. I can't remember. Oh, I think I gave all my other ones to George. B for L wants stickers on my test card in his shed. I'm sure we could do so. 90 quid on eBay at the moment. Yeah, I've seen them on eBay for 200, 400. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they're up there for that, but are they selling for that? Wayne Sharp has a Harvard CB. Seeing them alright. I have a few CBs. George Donaldson says he has one or two. He's a bad man because he has a call sign. He's an amateur radio man, but he likes CB. I don't know what all that's about. I find it a bit strange. Of good mind to report to the Irish Radio Transmitter Society, Mr. Donaldson. Never got into CB, I really should. Ray has a few more than I have though. You need to attach that motherfucker on your car. Lol, phew. It's the 420 or something like that. TriStar 747 there. I don't have CB radios, but I do possess a very nice Roberts radio from the 80s. Good man. George Christophe is into CB as well, a long time ago. He was the local rig doctor. Go ahead, JJ. They're all too busy fighting with one another to notice anything in the authority. Yes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. That's a whole kettle of fish in its own right, I believe. I was actually invited by a viewer who is a member of the IRTS, I would presume, because he's a member of the Shannon Basin Radio Club, to put on a vintage radio and television display at the do down there in Galway in April. But unfortunately I can't do it. I would have actually, it would have been an interesting day out, but I'm not around. It clashes with something else, I'm afraid. Suppose George would call me a turncoat then. Ooh, whoa, let's not get political. Oh. Yeah, listen, I can throw my Kenwood TS510 pretty hard, you know. Luke Davis, I've still got a Dell Optiplex GX for the older games. Al Ham says, my dad said to me that electronic stuff will give me cancer, so I dumped all my wires and stuff from Tandy and brought drugs instead. Ha, good man. I had one of the original Roberts radios that they had knocking. They're knocking off now from the 60s. Sold it on eBay to a collector. Good man. George Donaldson says he doesn't do politics because he's not politically correct. Yes, and I agree with Roundy Mooney's last sentiment there. I heard through the grapevine that George Donaldson is actually up for an election as president of the IRTS. I don't know how true that is though. Just a wild rumour I heard somewhere. Come with a government health warrant. Oh dear. Dear oh dear. So, every week here on the live, I always feature a YouTube channel. Well, if I find one, I feature a YouTube channel which I have found and find to be of interest. And this week is no exception. This chap, he's from Russia. I found him to be moderately interesting, and I'm going to bang a link to his channel in the chat, and you can tell me what you think or don't think of him. I won't be offended because it's not my channel. Let me see. There you go. Tell me what you think of him. He does some nice little interesting videos. Let me catch up now with the chat. Yeah, I'm sort of like that too, George. A lone wolf. Yeah, I never got involved with clubs or societies as such. I would affiliate myself with them, but I wouldn't get stuck in the middle of them, if you know what I mean. Dip in and out. Know everyone, be friendly with everyone, but not licking their face. Roundy Mooney, of course, George, did the licence years ago and did the exam years ago, the Herrick, but he never applied for his licence. So, do you think he should bang in for it now? I think he should. May as well get the bit of paper. It's £100 and you have it for life. Alham said he met Shane McGowan once and he loved Tetris. Bloody Tetris daft he was. He used to drink until he got very pissed. Then he got out his wee Game Boy and played Tetris. George, what did you do to yourself? Anyone who wants to check out that channel, Wayne says he can't click on it. Of course you can click on it. You're more than welcome to leave the chat for a few minutes. You don't have to keep glued to me. I don't mind. Go and have a look at your man's channel. Subscribe to him if you want or don't. And then come back to me. I don't mind. We'll be on here for a while. You're not going to miss anything special, I'm sure. I'm going to take the CW as well, George. Not necessarily the right way. Gas. There. I'm on mobile phone, mate. Oh, I see. Okay. You can click back in later on and check it out. Chipmunk says, makes sense then. George, I wouldn't worry about CW. Only farts bleeping and blopping these days. Yeah, but you see, you get a sexier call sign in Ireland if you have the CW. See, instead of having 3 letters after your number, you only have 2. That's really cool. And if you're really, really cool, you might just get 1 letter after your name. Ooh, snazzy. Three letters a minute's probably, well, I think it's only the exam now, the minimum to pass the exam now is 5 words a minute. which is unbelievably slow. Now, today I brought in my Bush A640. I put it on the bench and we powered it up, and it's working well. And there will be a video coming out on that in the near future, so I'm sure you'll be looking forward to seeing that. And on the floor here in front of me is a Pi 169 dual standard television from 1960 or maybe 1970 something, around that. And I'm going to be putting that up on the bench maybe tomorrow for a little video. If you can't rattle out on a key, you're in trouble. I think it used to be 15 or 20. It used to be at one time, but not anymore. Did the fluke knob fix it? Exclaims Kev B. Unfortunately not. Kev. The knob's too big. The shaft would work. I think I'd have to take a bit off the shaft, but I'll show you. So here we are. Right. Yeah, I think the shaft would work. But there's the knob, and that's how it sits. So the shaft is too long. And then the knob is sticking out too far, and the knob's far too wide. It's not the right knob. But I could use it like this, of course. The only thing is, the end stop is on the knob. So I can go right around. But it was certainly worth a shot. And thanks very much, Kevin. No dice today. I'm sure if we wait long enough, we'll get the right part for it. It's just playing the waiting game, that's all. And I remember now, the shaft that was on it was plastic, and they obviously had a problem with the plastic shafts because this one's made of steel, as you know. But there was also, I think, a screw in behind to stop the shaft coming up. But we'll figure it out anyway. We'll get there. Little fluke 110 will live to see another day eventually. So Roundy Mounty wants the sexy call as well. He's right too. I think I feel the same now. I might do it at some stage, but my problem is I don't even. It's a long time since I've made a contact on the radio now. I don't bother. Now I will eventually get back round to it, but George is no interested. I think the way that they made people do CW probably turned more people away from it. But especially the old boys and all, and the way they used to go on. I think a lot of lads just went in, banged the CW out to get the license and the privileges they desired, and then walked away from it and never picked up a key again, which is wrong. If it was just an option, lads might take it up as an interest and be genuinely interested in it. Wayne Sharp says, drill it and force it down. I don't think that'll be a go. Tell me this, I got a Panasonic 48-inch telly, 3D, came with 3D glasses, then Panasonic stopped me downloading. I have no idea. Maybe Michael Granfield might know. I wouldn't have a... As we looking into a duck's arse now, to be honest with you. Go for it, JJ says, Roundy. Yeah, maybe I will someday when I'm arsed. You can still get 3D Blu-ray players. We'll have a little QSL with our paddle case. I'm sure we will, Rowdy. I'd rather fucking WhatsApp you. And Joshua Sophie's trying to get Driver Film Shortwave into CW as well. If they ban contests, he might go back on air, says Underscore. Well, that's how I bloody feel about it. You hate them arseholes. No offence to anyone who's into contesting who likes the channel. But it's gone too far. You know, it used to be a couple of contests a year. Now you just can't turn the radio on without some bullshit blasting the ears off you. Not only that, Roundy, did you hear this thing about them trying to make it into a sport? Amateur radio is going to be a sport in the Olympics. That's what they were looking for. Fucking loons. Wayne Sharp's at the old pocket televisions as well. Good man, Wayne. Keep it up. I got during the week a lovely 2014 Sony. I might even have the model number down here. You never know. Because I think I did have to write it down here earlier on for something. Okay. If Michael Dranfield is still in the chat, he may or may not be, because I know sometimes he knocks off early to go to bed to get up for work in the morning. A Sony KDL 42W705B. Got one of those the other day. The power supply was missing. They use a separate power supply like a laptop. So I got now a laptop power supply. I got two laptop power supplies. One that had a connection that fitted it. The other one was broken. The other one was working but didn't have the connection. So they had sex. We made up a sort of a sexy power supply. Plugged it in and it came on. Lovely. So we ordered a remote control on eBay for it. So I've got myself a lovely television for, I think the remote on eBay was 15 quid or something like that. Should be here next week. So I mean, you couldn't fall out with that, could you? Is it the one with the 18.50 PSU? I think that's the one. That's it. So obviously the power supply unit went and they threw it in the bin. He probably does. You know what? It didn't even come into me head to ask him at the time, Roundy. I only got it on Wednesday. Brought it home Wednesday night. Oh, that's working. And I thought, remote control. I had a load of laptop power supplies around here and it's working alright. A Sinclair mini television is something I do not possess. Yet. We have 44 viewers at the minute, and I think that could very well be a record. If you've just tuned in, please do hit the thumbs up button. Come on, Roundy, tell them to hit the thumbs up button, quick. It's gone down to 43. Someone just couldn't take that. 42. Look, they just, no, they can't handle it. They can't handle the strain. Luke Davis, oh damn, reminds me of Bravia I found in the street. I wished I saved it now. You can't save them all, Luke. You can't save them all. You can't think like that. Just enjoy what you've got. And if you get one handy, that's fair enough. But don't be getting upset about stuff like that. It's all good. George Donaldson would like a Sinclair C5. I'd say you would do something very unusual to that Sinclair C5 to make it go very, very fast. Have you heard the song Electricity from OMD? I heard it last year and thought it was amazing. Never realised it was made in feckin' 1979. I have not, but I will look it up. Chipmunk scraps tellies in the conservatory. That's where they go to die. They go to die in the sun. OMD. Get your thumbs out, folks. Mum would kill me if I brought a scrap telly indoors. Oh no, you need to get a shed, Luke, if you can. Roundy, has JJ got enough cans to keep him going? Probably not. No, Mr. Granfield. Then Luke wonders why he can't fit into his bedroom anymore. Oh yeah. I remember the ads for them in the Sunday mags. I was dying to get one on the Rally Vector. Wayne Sharp hasn't got a Sinclair yet, but he will. I do have a shed, but it's currently being used for garden stuff and my computer setup, which I have since decommissioned. I'm not paying Roundy enough. I don't think my beautiful assistant will want to come out here either. I think she's watching Love Jungle or Celebrity Island or some bloody shit. Didn't take the first Sinclair Mini TV. Didn't the first Sinclair Mini TV appear in the late 60s? It may have done, alright. I can't remember now, but I think there was. I believe that the first ever truly portable transistor television may have been made by Pi for Everready. There was a post on the VRAF forum by Till Spiegel. That's David Boyens to everyone else. A couple of years ago, and it was the set that he has was actually a prototype, I think, and it used an unusual CRT with a very low current heater in it and that. It was about so size. In 1966, Sinclair Radionics developed the world's first portable television, the Microvision, but never attempted to sell it because development costs would have been too high. I didn't know that. It was used as a communicator on Space 99. I wonder then, if White Sapphire was here, she'd probably tell me what that thread was on the VRAF forum about that unusual little set that David Boyens has. I think he got a run on too. Wasn't on the VRAF either, I'm telling a lie. It was on the UK Vintage Radio forum. Panasonic was 77. Ah. Simon Hanlon is here. Welcome aboard, Simon. Please do bang the thumbs up button if you get a chance. And it's good to have you aboard. She doesn't remember that one. Okay, not to worry. Right, I'm going for more cowbells, boys and girls, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Life will be good. Right, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in a minute. Right, let me catch up here with the chat. Died off a bit. People just couldn't live without me. Let's see, what have we got here? White Sapphire said, should she be putting her kettle on? Probably. More cans? No, unfortunately not. One can left and that's it. Not to worry, we'll have a cup of tea then. No radio sheep fence anymore. No, I haven't bothered, have I, the last couple of weeks? And I haven't listened to any shortwave radio in a while. I don't know. I haven't had time. So the old Eddystone sitting down on the ground there in his little wooden box. I'm after eating a packet of crisps really quickly and it's all stuck in my teeth. Despite selling the rights to the name Amstrad, Sinclair Research Limited continued to exist as a one-man company, marketing Clive Sinclair's inventions until his death in September 01. I was 21. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. The Sinclair Zyke, I've no idea what that is. Wayne Sharp, just looking at the Panasonic I bought on eBay. It's the DCL3G Minivision Pocket TV. Looks mint, but not really worth anything to anyone. Stuff that. Sounds like something tripped in John Joe's shed. I don't know. Did it? Did something happen in my shed and I wasn't here? No, something's on fire anyway. The Zyke with the tiny little wheels. The double-decker VCR. I seen one of those recently for sale. I was half tempted, and then I didn't. And I didn't regret it, to be honest. No, I don't know. There's no MCBs in here anyway, I can tell you. Your man Sinclair, he never had a mobile phone. He was right. Could be a YouTube grandma. That's very possible. So, now that we're settling back in again, only 33 people watching, down from 46. 46 has to be a record, by the way. So we're happy enough with that. Another YouTube channel of note. Usually I only mention one a week, but this week I'm going to mention two. And first of all, you see, now we can turn this into a poll, right? So, time for a poll. The only thing's breaking me heart, lads. Right, answer that one if you can. Very interesting YouTube channel. Some very interesting videos on his channel. Has anyone heard of that channel? Let me see. What did I miss? Zuckerberg's personal laptop has gaffer tape across the cameras and mic. Jesus. That's nuts. Yeah, had the Spectrum 2 at one point. Who could ever need more than 173k? Class. You can fit a laptop hard disk drive inside a Spectrum tray hanging straight off the CPU. Someone wrote a decent DOS for it. Converted 1 year ago. Loading was rapid. Jeez, that sounds good, alright. "14 votes. Nobody has heard of the radio room on YouTube, or the radar room, should I say, on YouTube. A really interesting channel. I would recommend anyone to go and check it out. Absolutely. Alright, we'll end that poll. Nobody's heard of him. Very interesting vintage electronics channel. Absolutely. Can't believe nobody's heard of him. George Donaldson says so very unpolitically correct. Who'll be interested in looking at Gomez bollocks? Well, you know, it's quite interesting, without going too far off topic, that here is a gentleman who has built up this multi-billion Fortune 500 company from fuck all, right? He doesn't make or produce anything, or, you know, it's all nonsense in the air, fucking shit. And then he's got fixated with this thing about making people live in this reality, weird virtual world. And he's so hell bent on getting this vision through, this what's it called, the virtual world or whatever he's doing. That he's fucking up the company that's making so much money. Like the stocks, the shares, Facebook, they're going like this every day. I'm not on Facebook. I was years ago. Meta, or whatever he calls it. But like, he's so fixated with this thing that like this is going like this, and he's like, no, pour more billions into this. It's nuts. Fucking off the head stuff. I have to say, I work in a job where, say what you like about it, but at the end of the day, if I look out the window, I see trucks going out the gate with shit in them. So at least I know I'm producing or being part of something that is producing a tangible product, right? Whereas all this Twitter and Facebook and all, there's no tangible product. The world will not stop tomorrow if these companies disappear. So that's not, I don't know. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole too far. I've got an Atari 2600 here somewhere, and I've got 3 games for it too. God, I'm off the ear now. Yeah. I wouldn't say he was always a garmless bollocks, George, because he made an awful lot of money. I wouldn't say he's stupid, but he's a bit fixated. Oh yeah, well there is interdependency, but who do you blame there, Chipmunk? Uh, you never said he was stupid. No, to be fair, you didn't. No, and there is a distinction, to be fair, between harmless and stupid. It is frightening that we have these fuckers in the world, though. Kev has been looking for 2 lumps of hardware for years: a keyboard for the Commodore SX64 and a Sega Multimega. A Multimega. Ooh, sounds snazzy. Good man, George. Good man. So, you just have to check out the radar room anyway. That's your homework for tonight. Write that down on a piece of paper. Look it up tomorrow. To be fair, Mr. Donaldson is a very modest man indeed. Very simple, modest man. George is a legend in his own living room, in his own shed. I don't think he's allowed in the living room anymore. Have a look on here for a lad called John Beta. He does all that vintage computer stuff. Oh yes, I've seen him, George. Going to try rebuilding some old laptop battery packs. Just bought a portable spot welder off Amazon. It's the CC with good reviews that should be great for the 18650 batteries. Who watches the Shango 66 channel? I'd say quite a few people here would watch him, alright. And agree entirely with Chipmunk. That's where I am with them as well. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, long and rambly. Although he knows what he's doing, I would say on the whole he's probably much better than I am. The 8-bit guy is another one. Mega Drive with built-in Mega CD, just a bit bigger than an old portable CD player. Oh. Jim Simpson looks detracted or something. I don't know. Absolute favourite is this lad not alone. In a shed not alone. Always messing with stuff. Shit. What's this his name is now? I'm trying to think of it. Michael Burke. Lovely man. My brother has got the Mega CD too. That comment about the 8-bit guy worried me. Mega Drive and CD next to it. Interesting. Who likes to carry... Sorry, who is this? Apparently he likes carrying rifles around Walmart to freak out liberals. Who was that? Who's that you're talking about, Chipmunk? The 8-bit guy. Oh. Interesting, alright. America's a strange place. Someone told you on a live stream. Ray's favourite channel is Glasslinger. Ah, yes, the homemade valves and all that. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful. He likes his dresses. Yeah, he does. He likes to dress up. No, he's a nice man. Very good at making these homemade valves and radios and stuff, though. Very good. Techno and hip hop, though. George can't do the Techno fella. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch much of his stuff, to be honest. I don't watch much YouTube. I don't watch much technical stuff on YouTube, to be honest. I think I get a bit fed up with it after doing my own. Oh, the cats make the valves. And he narrates the videos. Oh, that's interesting. It'd be good to have the old cats trained up, alright. I could do with a few techie cats in here myself, because I'm getting quite a backlog of stuff at the minute. Very niche, indeed. Like these weird tape players that have 25-hour loops on them. I mean, no one would be interested in this, looking at videos about that shit. Funny, Clive found that many electronics guys watch mechanics and mechanics watch electronics. I believe that, alright. Now, I'm a mechanic that does electronics videos, so what does that make me? I don't know. It's interesting. I'm sure there could be a poll in there somewhere. I can't be arsed. We've got 33 hardcore people still watching, and fair play to all of them. It's 10 to 11 for those of you watching in black and white. That's why his videos are so far apart. 300 takes to get it right. Now off the hip stuff. And direct upload from the phone. Phone's the only way I put videos up on the old YouTube. All my videos are made on the phone. Boo, 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 boo. That's the way to have it. I'll probably drastically overhaul everything someday. You know? I'll go for the big books. John Joe. Sports car and stuff. Anyone watch 12 Fids? No. I don't. I've seen a few bits of his videos, but not much. Maybe one day I'll start. You fix trucks so you can come home and get on with your real job. Well, I don't fix trucks anymore, but yeah, I do the job so I can come home and do the real job, though. I'd certainly agree with that. Red Dead Restoration is good. Those watches, real precision stuff. Jenny watches more mechanic stuff than electronics. Do you fix electronic handbrakes on Renault Scenics, Ojnoj? I certainly do not, Mr. Dandy. Not would I have any interest. I don't work on cars. Except my own. And I'm no fucking interested in working on cars. And every car mechanic that I meet is an ex-car mechanic who left the trade because, and I quote, and they all say the exact same thing: the motor trade is a load of bollocks. And it is. One of the other lads did similar, 12 volt in place of 240. I'm the one the bet next one. See, that contactor sounded a bit lively. I haven't heard of any of those White Sapphire. They're all ones to check out. Dave O'Toole is in. Hello, Dave. Hope you're keeping well. How can a tiny bit of corrosion stop an entire light working? You'll be bloody surprised. Watch Wes work is a mechanic who also knows his way around a silly scope. Good man, Wes. You need to be an to be a mechanic Oj these days. You need to be a fucking lunatic. That's what you need to be. Super fast Matt is a good channel. Auto electronics is probably a good thing these days. Probably is if you need a brain transplant. Bloody cold enough when you turn off the heater for a few minutes. I can tell you that. And it's not even a cold night out. We've lots of interaction here in the chat tonight, which is good. We've 35 people watching at the minute, which is excellent. Let's see, group participants at the minute include Conway, Noel, Dave O'Toole, George Donaldson, Jerry BVR, Jim Simpson, Kevy Bay, Norm Donny, the Roundy Mounty, Simon Hanlon, Chipmunk, Wayne Sharp, and White Sapphire. If you are watching, however, and you never comment, which I know there's people that don't comment who watch, just if you want, but it'd be nice, just for once, if you just say hi in the chat. That's all. Just write hi, and we'll say hi back. Because it's nice to know who is watching and stuff. Musty One's interesting, although I do question his fines at the side of the road sometimes. Nice one, Dave. Always good to have an easy fix. They always run, Chipmunk. I find that. I have a few old engines here that I was going to make videos like that about. Just have to sort out my back shed. It's 90% there. I love Will at Start videos too, but I happen to be a bit of an expert, by the way, at getting shit to start. Right? I would know about getting shit to start. If you have a truck that's sitting lying in a ditch for 50 years and you want someone to start it up, I'm your man. Give me 10 gallons of diesel, half a pint of petrol, box of matches, 2 fully charged batteries, and a dog named Jack. And we'll get her going. We'll get her going, boy. Should be doing my own Will It Start video after Christmas. Good man, George. Oh, time she fired up, boy. I'm just afraid, George, that you will run into... there used to be a program on the television years ago called Good Night, Sweetheart. For those of you who haven't heard of this, your man out of Only Fools and Horses was in it. Basically, he had a time portal at the back of his antique shop that brought him to 1945. Right? Silly, yes. Anyway, he was going backwards and forwards, bringing parts for the Willys Jeep home. And they were rebuilding it in this garage. And then the day finally came, but the garage was there so long that there was bollards in front of the doors and they couldn't open the doors, right? And the thing was stuck. And I just have this feeling that George's motorbike is going to get built up in this shed. He won't be able to get out the door. Oh. Oh, don't like Easy Start, George. Don't be using that shit. No. Bold, George. Easy Start, bold. That bad things happen. Bad memories. Bad memories. No. What about runaway two-stroke diesel videos? Oh, that's never. It's alright to watch, but when it happens in person, and this man sitting here has witnessed two-stroke V6 engines tearing off at a rate of knots by. Although the most impressive, the 6V71 I see take off one day was impressive, but the most impressive one was a 13-litre Rolls Royce diesel with the rack stuck on the injector pump full open. Oh, that was priceless. That was some crack. Oh yeah, boy. I got out of the cab when the clock went past 2,600 rippings a minute. Want to see the smoke? Jesus. Go to Vietnam, dig tellies out with ditches, bring them home on your moped and power wash them. That's an idea, Roundy. Just ask Voice Grip Garage. Now this is a 13-litre Rolls Royce engine in a truck now, diesel. They made diesel engines for trucks and stuff at one time. Yeah, Duracell aren't very good now, are they? I gave him a watch, George, but you know what? I can't do it. There's something about him I can't do it. Well, I've worked on those engines that he's worked on, so I know. But some of the way he sets up he's an unusual way of doing it. I don't know. It's not the way we do it. Oh yeah, China has the money behind them, alright. I think Duracell Industrial and ProCell are made in a different factory. Main thing with alkalines is cheaping out on the steel casing, so the pressure seal gives way. Yeah, I bought a vintage forklift truck last week, 600 quid. I'm looking forward to using it next summer. Fair play to you, White Sapphire. Lovely stuff. I must say, I've a Renault Fluence and it's an excellent car. Never given me an ounce of trouble. Laguna. The Laguna too. My uncle had one of those and it wasn't a great car. Oh, then he got a Safran. Does anyone remember the Renault Safran? Now there's a car you never see anymore. And why do you never see it anymore? Because it was a heap of fucking shit. Renault Safran. Have you tried the perfect draft? Tenants is amazing on it. What? I don't know what that is. Very rare. I do like the Vels. The talking dash. The Safran had that as well. Remember, that was a feature. Car used to talk at you. Yeah. Alright, you're part of white. You're part of through it. No. The Spas, yes. The early Spas, yeah. Wonderful stuff. We're doing well tonight, lads. Times it's now 11:05 for those of you watching the clock in black and white. Steve of the Long Stay Electronics Workshop is here. Good evening, Steve. Andy was here earlier on. Good to see you in the chat too. Good man. Good to see you. Oh dear. I'd rather drop in. I got the gist of it, Andy. I got the gist of it. Or Steve, so to say. Now it was losing it. Oh. He's got fixed up with that amplifier earlier on anyway. That was good to see. Not a simple job by any means. I did hear you say that there was a short induced from knocking around the amplifier in Andy's gaff. Must have been kicking it around the place after the dog. Right, lads, I'm going for more cowbells and then I'll be back in the short. Alright? So, no fighting when I'm gone. Alright? 36 watching. A few of you have died since I went out. So, let's see where we're at. Two runs of Mill Bills, I'm afraid not. Energizer. Do you know what ones I use? The best ones I found, and they're also the cheapest still by far, are the ones the pennies sell at the till. They do a pack of 10 AAs for €1.75. I've never had one leak yet. They're excellent. I think that may be the same crowd who used to do the ones for IKEA. IKEA don't sell batteries anymore though. Not non-rechargeable types anyway. And on the QA. Snazzy machine, Kev. Or Wayne, should I say. Stuff. Right, lads, I'm going to knock off now in a few minutes, I have to admit. It's a Sunday night, and all you get to be in bed for work in the morning. I, on the other hand, of course, have my work done for the week. It's getting cold, even with the heat on. Get them on Primark too, 10 for $1.99. Yeah, see, you couldn't go wrong with that. It's a bloody bargain. Yeah, the Santa Fe is a heap of shit. Same company, that's right. Same company. Go across the north of the border here, and they all turn into Primarks. No connection at all. Pennies is actually originally an Irish company. Trade is Primark in the UK because I think there was another Pennies in the UK at the time. Henry Street in Dublin was the first penny shop. And when you go into our shop, they've all big huge pictures on the walls going back to the 60s. of when they first opened. God knows who owns them now or whatever. Probably £1 billion business now. Right, lads, I'm going to pull the plug, call it a night, say good luck. Thank you all very much for another very good live stream. It's been excellent. Absolutely 10 out of 10. As usual, everyone has been very respectful, very mindful of one another, and I appreciate that a lot. One thing I notice, and I'm sure Roundy will agree, we never have to moderate comments or say anything to anyone to, don't say this or don't say that or don't be bullying people. That you see in a lot of these live streams, where the moderators are having to retract comments and stuff because they're just ridiculously offensive to people and stuff. We never have any of that shit here, so thank you all very much. Everyone is very sensible here, and that is appreciated. We have good people here. So it's been an interesting night. I'm going in. I might actually run up to the... Actually, no. I'll tell you what's going to happen now when I go in. Mrs. Ojnoj is putting waffles in the toaster for me out of the freezer and some beans. So I'm going to have waffles and beans when I go into the house. I'm going to watch a bit of television and then I'm going to go to bed around 12 o'clock. It's been a great night. Thanks all again. Look forward during the week to a video on a Bush A640 and possibly a Pi 169. And we will catch you then. Right, lads, good night.